And we say good morning and welcome. We're live at Phil's Dream Pit again on this Tuesday, February the 6th, 2018. And again, we got countdowns going on. This is show number 682. We're live again at Phil's Dream Pit. Again, the Quest for Perfect Barbecue. It's a special week here at Phil's. They're celebrating their 10th anniversary and coming up on Saturday. All week long, you come in here and eat. If you bring any kind of canned goods to help out Second Harvest Food Bank, you get your meal 10% off. But on Saturday, this coming Saturday, they're celebrating their 10th anniversary, and if you bring canned goods in, plus the fact that it's 10% off on their 10th birthday, you can come in here on Saturday and eat for 20% off the tab. Can't beat it. It's good stuff. And that's where we are today, broadcasting live at Phil's Dream Pit. We are loaded for bear, as always. We've got stacks of stuff to talk about college football. Tomorrow's National Signing Day. It's a big day tomorrow for college football. We've got hockey. We've got NASCAR. We've got basketball. We've got little pals here. We've got baseball. We've got a ton of guests coming up. We're going to be joined a little bit later on, in fact, in a few minutes. Michael Bates from Upward Basketball and Niswonger Children's Hospital. He's going to stop by and join us. Also, Brittany Carson's here from Trinity Baptist, the one, the only. She's got big news to talk about what's coming up. If you can believe this, Vacation Bible School. See, Tom, it's February. I'm telling you, you'll be here before you know it. So she's going to talk about that. Colin Brooks joins us, Northeast Tennessee basketball. He'll be along here in a few minutes. Also, Joe Vento from the Johnson City Press covering East Tennessee State sports, talking about those Red Hot Buccaneers, and they're off until Saturday, and they play at VMI, but the Bucs are red hot. We'll tell you all about that and let Joe tell you. Also, they, much like the big schools, are looking for football players. Tomorrow's National Signing Day for them as well, and so we'll talk to Joe Vento from the Johnson City Press coming up in a while. Of course, one of our brand new sponsors, Sprint. Woohoo! My boys from Sprint will be here, Zeb Kopis and Caleb Sparks. You can get the iPhone 8, lease one, get one. Also, the 10. Can you believe this? 10. You can get it for $30 for plus activation. So I want to make sure I'm saying it right. But again, it is a great deal. And so, get it right here. Make sure I'm saying it right. There it is. The iPhone 10 for $30 for a new activation from Sprint. It is awesome. So we'll talk more about that with our buddies coming up a little bit later on. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. We unashamedly dedicate our show to the Lord Jesus. And so our verse today to get it started, Proverbs 16:3 says, "Commit your works to me, and your thoughts will be established." How about that? That's what it's all about. And so we are here again at Phil's Dream Pit. Again, the Quest for Perfect Barbecue. And again, opened the door, and they're in here. This place is already half full. We've been open, 4 or 5 minutes? So folks love this, and with good reason. Up on the wall, they were named the Reader's Choice, Johnson City Press favorite barbecue place. It is awesome. And so we're here again right off the Eastern Star exit of Interstate 26 where we are. And so they're here 6 days a week, 5 days a week, Tuesday through Saturday, closed on Sundays and Mondays. So they flat wear it out, and they do a great job, and we appreciate them very much. So that's what's going on. I do want to remind you about the Will Graham celebration coming on April the 27th, 28th, and 29th. That'll be coming to Freedom Hall in Johnson City. Will's coming. The grandson of Billy Graham will be here with a 3-day set of meetings. And again, you have meetings tonight. Let's see, you have Elizabeth Chapel United Methodist Church in Bluff City. You also have tonight Central Baptist Church in Johnson City and First Broad Street United Methodist in Kingsport, celebrating the third and final week of the Christian Life and Witness course. And so it's been going on for 3 weeks, and so this winding down tonight at all three of those locations, starting at 7 o'clock, and it is free, of course, for you to stop by and check out. Again, we are live here at Phil's Dream Pit, our first segment right now, and we'll take a break and bring in our first guest. And so tomorrow, National Signing Day in college football. Right now, if you had to stop, because we had the early signing period in December, so if you had to stop and name them right now, your top 10 recruiting classes in college football heading into tomorrow. Again, this is based on what the NCAA gave us a early signing period back in December 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So based on that time frame, here's your top 10 football recruiting classes right now as of today. Number 1 to the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Number 2, Georgia. Number 3, Texas. Penn State currently the 4th best. Miami 5th. Alabama, normally the number 1. They're at number 6 right now. Oklahoma 7th. Clemson the 8th best recruiting class so far. Notre Dame 9th, and Auburn rounds out the top 10. We got, several guys still out there to be picked for tomorrow. Patrick Surtain Jr., a cornerback, looking at LSU, Alabama, and Clemson. Nicholas Petit Ferrer, he ain't petite, big offensive tackle, He's huge. This guy's like 6'7", 6'8". This guy's a mountain of a man. Florida, Notre Dame, and Alabama there. Tyson Campbell, a cornerback out of Fort Lauderdale. He's looking at Georgia, Alabama, Miami. They'll make their picks tomorrow, of course. Elijah Griffin, a cornerback out of California. Tennessee, Southern Cal, and Oregon he's looking at. Devon Williams, a wide receiver, again from Lancaster, California. He's narrowed his choices down to Oregon, USC, Utah, and Alabama. Isaac Taylor Stewart, a cornerback out of California. He's down to Southern Cal, Texas A&M, and Alabama. If you see a pattern here, Southern Cal's doing very, very good on the recruiting trail. Tanner McKee, a pro-style quarterback out of Corona, California. Stanford, Alabama, Texas, and Texas A&M. There's a couple of more. Let's see. Get this young man's name. Last name is Waddle. First name is Jalen Waddle, wide receiver out of Bel Air, Texas. Looking at Texas A&M, Alabama, and Texas. Two more. Justin Rose, the wide receiver out of Phoenix City, Alabama. Clemson, Alabama, and Auburn. And William Barnes, big offensive tackle out of Apopka, Florida, looking at North Carolina, Florida, and Ole Miss. So these guys are still out there. They'll make their intentions known tomorrow. It's really cool, and we were talking about this last week, Joe Vento, John City Press. With all the modern technology, what happens tomorrow morning is all these coaches hang around the fax machine. And when the faxes come in, and they're signed commitments, not verbal but signed, that's when they know they're getting these guys. So it's pretty cool. For all the modern technology and how we can do everything just on a split second, for this particular procedure, you have to wait for the fax machine to find out who's going to actually send in their fax, who's going to be a member of your football program. So it's kind of a scavenger hunt of sorts for the coaching staff. They've been out beating the bushes this past weekend at the final visits. A lot of these guys brought them on campus and wined them and dined them and wowed them, and so it's down to their choices now, and we'll find out tomorrow morning. And, of course, Kevin Harmon will be along on Thursday with a complete rundown of what Tennessee did in the recruiting situation. And we'll get Joe Vento on a little bit later on in this show today to find out who East Tennessee State is looking at. I know they signed a young man out of Hampton, Tennessee, made a verbal commitment. So it's all good, as they say. And tomorrow, again, National Signing Day. We're at Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. 10th anniversary this coming Saturday. We'll be here broadcasting live. You bring in some canned goods. Anytime this week, get 10% off your tab. If you bring in canned goods and come in on Saturday, 10% off because of the canned goods, 10% off because of the birthday celebrations. You can come in and eat 20% off your tab, and that's a pretty good way to do things. So, quick break. First guest here, Michael Bates and Brittany Carson in the house, ready to talk next here on show number 682, the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store. Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
And we're back again at Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. I'm not Michael Bates, and I'm certainly not Brittany Carson, so we will put the appropriate camera up, and boom, there's my man Michael Bates. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well.
Yes, thank you for stopping by here. We have made a friend out of Michael Bates over the last couple of years to the Upward basketball program at his church, Trinity Baptist in Jonesboro. You're going to hear a lot about that here in the next couple of minutes, and so we will selfishly let Brittany do an infomercial about the Vacation Bible School coming up, and of course Michael's going to talk about Upward. But first, we've just came through the gala opportunity that we raised money for Niswonger Children's Hospital with Champion Chevrolet, one of our great sponsors, and so they gave away the car, they gave away the money, and so I wanted to get Mike in here for just a second. And so even though the gala's passed, Niswonger Children's Hospital's there obviously 24/7, 365 days a year, and this gentleman and his family thank the good Lord every day because it's there for you and for Ian, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So look yonder in camera and tell us the importance of Niswonger Children's Hospital, how it's impacted your family.
All right. Well, from last year, you had me on the show a few times, and we talked about we have a race for Ian because our youngest has a severe hemophiliac. That means he has no clotting agent, no factor VIII in his body. And so when Niswonger was just being built when he was born, and after his first year here on this earth, Niswonger instituted their building, and they hooked in St. Jude's on the very end of it, and that whole process has been a lifesaver, actual lifesaver for our son.
Literal.
It is it. That is a literal, yes, sir. And what happens is, because he has a port underneath his skin in his chest, if he ever runs a fever that's 101 for more than a couple hours, he has to go to the hospital and be checked, so make sure it's not a port infection. With Niswonger, this is where they come involved. Now, St. Jude's works right with them, but they take care of our son. It's fantastic what they've done. We've never had a bad experience with them yet. And of course, nobody likes the bills. That's just part of life. That's you got insurance, you got bills, but I'm sorry, the care we get there at Niswonger and the help we get there is top notch. And ever since they read down the rooms for child size, everything's child size, and the beds and the TVs they have and the video program they have for them, even games they have for them play on their TV and stuff. They are so nice and so compassionate to our kids, and we're so thankful for what Niswonger does. And we go in there, we're guaranteed a 24-hour stay or maybe 72 hours depending on what the results come back with his blood test. But there's been times, and he does receive a little bit of special treatment because of his port.
Sure.
It will supersede because of the problems he could have. He did have a port infection one time, and he got close to not being with us because the infection was very prevalent in his bloodstream. But with that said, what we do is once we call St. Jude's, and then St. Jude's, if they're off and they're closed, we contact Niswonger, and they work together, and we zoom in. We go straight to a room. We don't go to the emergency room. They got a room waiting for us. Everything's ready, and they start doing the blood work and all the testings. And then once again, the care they have is top notch.
So again, we're talking to Michael Bates. So if you didn't have Niswonger in Johnson City, where would you have to take Ian?
The closest one, I guess, would be Knoxville.
Yeah.
Then after that, it's Nashville.
So from your home to Niswonger is what, 5 or 10 minutes?
We are 5 miles away.
Yeah.
So,
Versus 100 miles
great.
in Knoxville.
It's,
Yeah.
it's a blessing to have
There you
that
go.
top-notch facility here in Johnson City.
There you go. Niswonger Children's Hospital. So I want to get him in and let him be sure and tell folks that, you know, when we talk about Niswonger Children's Hospital, especially during the gala season, which is come and gone, but the need's there year-round, obviously, to support this facility. And so here's a family, obviously, that knows firsthand the importance of Niswonger Children's Hospital. Got to have it, and it's a fantastic facility. We had Lisa Carter on a couple of weeks ago, the CEO of the hospital during the gala season, and pretty much said the same thing. And so with this merger that has now come about, Ballard, I think it's now called Ballard Health, it still stays in place. Niswonger Children's Hospital is going to be, you know, status quo. It's still going to be doing its thing. So I don't think it's going to be infected or impacted any at all. So again, here's a family here in the Tri-Cities that used the services of Niswonger Children's Hospital. As he said, thank God for Niswonger. That's exactly right. The program you have at your church, I know a lot of churches have it around the region, Upward Basketball. I'm telling you firsthand, it is, I'm not even sure how to put it into words, and I make a living talking, what it's done for a little girl that's in my life. I mean, it's lit her fuse. She's like a basketball junkie now. I mean, we go everywhere. We went and watched games Friday night. We played Saturday and went and watched Milligan's girls play on Saturday afternoon, but she's into it because of this gentleman's program and the church and Upward Basketball. So kudos to you guys and ladies. So for folks out there who may not know what Upward Basketball is all about, and there's other things too, not just basketball, but it's a phenomenal program. And tell folks what it's about, would you please?
Just real quick in a nutshell, we was introduced to Upward Basketball just someone by word of mouth. So we went and found out what it's all about. Went and got trained so we can put on the program. And basically it's teaching kids some basketball skills in a place they may never get to play. Some of these kids probably would never got to play basketball because they're not. Sometimes some of them aren't good enough to make a league. That's the way it is. But this is a non-aggressive way to start them off young, to teach them skills about basketball and how to work as a team, and it progresses. I'm going to get for the mechanics first. So to get through the mechanics, and we got our divisions is K5 only. You know, the coaches are on the courts with them, managing them. We're not going to call a bunch of walks and stuff. We're trying to teach them just organizational skills and some basketball dribbling and some shooting stuff.
Sure.
Have some good times. Then we got a first grade league, and it starts getting a little bit more whistles blown, and coaches have to stay on the sidelines. The kids are more on their own a little bit with the referee's help, and the referees still instruct. They'll stop the play with the whistle and tell them what they did wrong so they can improve. And it looks hectic the first week, second week starts getting ready, third week, fourth, and fifth week. Hey, these guys are almost like pros, or they feel like pros. Then we got our second and third grade league, which I think your granddaughter is in. And we still play three-quarters court, so there's a lot of action going on, a lot of scoring going on. But, you know, the rules are even heightened a little more. And you'll call those extra steps so you won't give you that NBA walk, and they'll call those things. And then we get to the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade division, girls league only, then a boys league, and it's straight up basketball. And the rules change, so 4th through 6th is normal basketball. The only rule that's implemented is if you're up by 15, you can't do a full court press if you're up that much. So it gets them ready for the next level if they want to play school ball or even college ball. Like I think I might mention this maybe a year ago, but one of my assistant coaches is Mr. Persinger, and he has had some children who come through the program. And matter of fact, his daughter is right now playing for Milligan College. She's a Persinger. She's a starter for the Buffaloes down there, and she started in Upward Basketball at Trinity and just worked her way through, and then went on to school ball, and there she is now in college. Now, with all the mechanics said, then this is my favorite part, is there is no technicals. There are no warnings of the coaches because they are implemented no matter what the call is by the referees, and referees are volunteer. They make good calls and make bad calls. That's the way it is. That's whether you get paid or not paid, you're going to make some bad calls and good calls.
It's just the way it is.
And if we, the coaches, act in a behavior that's with integrity, and our integrity definition would be Christ-like. And then the kids respond to how the coaches are responding to a call or how things are going on the field or on the court. And if they are calm, cool, And positive, the kids tend to be calm, cool, and positive. And then the crowd sees how their kids and everybody's reacting. They tend to be calm.
Feed off of it. Sure.
And instead of a pandemonium,
Yeah.
it's just a great time. And every practice, halfway through practice or sometime during practice, the coaches take a little 5 to 8 minute stop and have a little devotion. And they teach a little attribute of God. Like this week, in the past weeks, it's talking about kindness. Treat others how you would want to be treated. It's a great, we know that is the golden rule. It comes from the Bible. The world didn't come up with it. They stole that from Jesus.
There you go.
So that's what they teach. And then at halftimes, as you see that, at halftimes of the game, we have personal testimonies or devotions given by youth or adults who are involved in the church. So everybody is introduced to some part of the gospel or a testimony during the games, and during practices. The kids are exposed to the word of Jesus Christ.
It's the name of the game. And so I was at the game there Friday night when tensions got a little escalated at a high school basketball game, and I saw people that I know personally, and I look over in the stands, and the veins are popping, and they're screaming, thinking, really? Over a high school basketball game? Man, I understand you want to win, but really? Made a yo-yo of himself in front of everybody. I'm thinking, dude, come on now, it's a high school basketball game. So anyway, is what it is. I want to say hello to Terry Lester in Rock Hill, South Carolina, watching. Also, a big shout out to our buddy Bradley Purdy yonder in Cleveland, Texas, watches every day. He's from Kingsport, watches the show. Thank you, my friend. Also, Darius Hensley in Bluff City and Jerry McNeil in Elizabeth, and some of the folks dialed in here. We appreciate it. We're live to Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. This is your first time in, right?
Yes, sir.
Fixing to grub out a little bit, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
There you go. You like pulled pork, you like pulled beef, you like pulled chicken?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yeah, I knew that was coming. Baked beans, out of this world, macaroni salad, the whole deal. So, and then you like banana pudding? Get a little banana pudding to top it off. Oh, they make some serious good banana pudding. So, again, the Upward Basketball Program, it's awesome. And so, and it's awesome at all churches. We just happen to be plugged into Trinity in Jonesboro. But again, it's for someone who'd never played the game, and it's not the screaming and hollering you'd see at other places, like you said, the intensity. I mean, they play hard and they work hard, but when it's over, it's over. Yes. And that's what I like about it. So she moves up to the next level, which looks like she will. She'll have to face all those yahoos screaming in the stands, and we'll get her ready for that. But again, thanks to the Upward Basketball Program and certainly Trinity Baptist Church and this gentleman right here. So good stuff. You hungry?
Yes, sir.
You want to bring in the queen now?
We'll bring her in.
Oh yeah, let's move the thorn out of the way and bring in the rose, as they say. Michael Bates, appreciate him very much. Right. Good man. Appreciate you, my friend. And also coming up, we're going to be having just in a few minutes Colin Brooks talking basketball, Northeast Tennessee basketball. The big dog, and let him talk about LSU football recruiting too. They're on the list of some of the big names, so he's a big LSU feller, and so he's a big fella, period. But and LSU too, so we will get him on here in a few minutes to talk college football. She is ready. The queen is in the house, and here we go. Are you ready?
Sure.
She is.
I got my phone
Boom.
for dates just
there she is. There's Brittany Carson. She works at Trinity Baptist Church. Hello, young lady. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. How's life treating you?
It's going well.
Yes.
Going very well.
She is I guess you're the scorekeeper?
Yes. It's my best talent at Upward Basketball.
She's hitting that button on the score clock. So she's a score clock operator in Upward Basketball. It really is a cool program, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you play it when you were little?
I did not. We didn't have it until I was, I think, in high school, and that's when it first came to Trinity. So I've just kind of been a part of helping every year.
Yeah. So great program. Every Saturday we practice once a week, and so again, if you're interested, of course, it's winding down now. The season's, I think we got 3 weeks left of this year, but if you're looking ahead to something to get involved in next year, certainly consider getting involved in Upward Basketball. And it starts at what age, Michael? Kindergarten all the way up to high school, through 6th grade. Just learned something new. I thought I went through high school. I just had that deer in headlight look. Okay, through 6th grade. Anyway, it's a great program. As is this young lady. We went to her vacation Bible school that they put on last year. They had a play, had a skit going on every night. It was really cool. And so VBS, you say, Tom, it's February. We haven't got the Valentine's Day yet, but it'll be here before you know it. You guys are already in planning stages, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah, we actually have 2 big events coming up. I also wanted to make mention of our Easter egg hunt. It'll come before VBS, but so we have 2 big things in the making and just getting ready for it. on top of all of our regular discipleship and things like that. So it's a great time of year.
So selfishly plug while I got you, the Children's Department of Trinity Baptist. There's lots going on every week throughout the year.
Yes.
What's going on now?
Yes. So right now we have our regular discipleship time. So we have that on Wednesday nights at 6:30 from 6:30 to 7:30. And the kids are split up into their different age appropriate groups. And so they have a time that they are in the Word and they are learning the Word. And then they have a time on Wednesday nights where they get to go to the gym and play games and things like that, which is really great because by Wednesday everybody's a little crazy and tired. And so we just need to run some energy off. So that's on Wednesday nights. On Sunday mornings, we have our regular Sunday school at 9:30. Once again, age-appropriate groups for each child. That's for infant through 6th grade. And then we have children's worship at 10:45 for 3 years to 3rd grade. And then that night we have children's choir, which is a lot of fun. Right now our kids are working on a lot of different hymns that have a different beat to them and a different rhythm. And anyway, they're having a lot of fun with that. And then we have discipleship again at 6 o'clock. So we have a lot going on for the whole family while kids are in discipleship. Parents can be in services. Youth can be with Michael in the youth group. And so we just have a lot for everyone.
Colin Brooks coming up and join us here in just a second. Also later in the show, Joe Avento will join us from the John City Press talking about that red-hot East Tennessee State basketball team. We're talking to Brittany Carson, obviously, still on the screen from Trinity. So VBS, when is VBS, and what's the theme this year?
So VBS is June 3rd through the 7th, and then we have a wetlands night on Saturday the 9th. And our theme this year is Time Lapse. So we are discovering Jesus from eternity past to eternity future, and it's based in Revelation 1, verse 8, and it's the God who is, the God who was, and the God who is to come. So, so we will be going back in time and present, future, everything. So.
And it's the dates again are
June 3rd through the 7th.
June 3rd to the 7th.
Yes.
I'll be here before you know it, I promise you. So. And we'll get her back on again, and Michael as well. Is there a website on the church we can go check out what's going on in Trinity?
Yes, I don't know that VBS is up there just yet, but I will get it on there. But yes, our website is trinity3e.org. So you can find out everything that's coming up. We have a calendar, a big overall calendar, and you can find out all the things that are coming up.
Trinity3e.com. .org. I'm sorry, Trinity3e.org. I'll see you Saturday, right?
Yes.
Yes. Are you hungry?
Yes.
On the menu, what did you see that kind of caught your eye?
I think I'm going to do the pulled pork platter. Or meal, whatever they call it. It's on the back.
Pulled pork platter. I believe you've hit a home run. I get that all the time. It's good stuff. Thank you, lady.
Sure.
She's a sweetheart. Appreciate her very much. And Michael, I guess I can say he's a sweetheart, too. That sounds a little cheesy, but they're both great people, and I appreciate them very much. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here again at Phil's Dream Pit. Up next, the big boy rolls in. Literally, he's about 6 foot. What are you, Colin? 6'12"? 6. Yeah, right. If you're 6'6", I'm 5'8". We'll take a break. Colin Brooks, the big man's next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years, It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
And we're back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. There he is, NET basketball, NET hoops. My man Colin Brooks, about 6'12". He is. Are you really just 6'6"?
6'6" and a half.
I was going to say
my
that
wife
half
is always, 6'7", 6'8", so
that half's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
See, that's a big half. It's about 6'8". But anyway, great guy. Love having him on the show. And so you and Trey and some folks doing a Northeast Tennessee Hoops magazine. Is that what's going on? Tell me about it.
Yeah, Trey and I, we got such a good response from the NET Pigskin football magazine that we do that we decided to pick back up the NET Hoops. It'll have 20 teams in the area, kind of a yearbook more than a preview, obviously, with the season being over, but recap of the season and 1,000-point scores, and then some great feature pieces. Trey, with his history, is always phenomenal. He's we got a piece on George Pitts, Demetric Stevens. We got a 10-page section on Ralph Stout, who was a world-renowned basketball referee from Johnson County, was even the mayor of Johnson County there for a little while. So that's going to come out next week, right around district tournament time, so it'll be the perfect thing for people to pick up and be able to take it to the district tournament and know how the season's gone for all their teams.
Yep. And, of course, he's right. It all cranks up. We'll run down the schedule in a minute because it's the final week of the regular season. Big games tonight at the conference, and, of course, the seedings for the upcoming district tournaments. The AAA is going to be at Crockett in Jonesboro. The AA is going to be in Elizabethton, guys and girls. Single A is going to be at Daniel Boone. So it's the old overworked cliche of the second season, but it is what it is. And so it starts next week, and this is going to be kind of a reference material for these teams, right?
Yeah, it really is. And going into the season, everybody had their eyes on the Daniel Boone girls team, and they've really delivered. They've only had 4 losses. 2 of those losses were to nationally ranked teams, and they've gone undefeated in conference play. All eyes are going to be on them. That group, a bunch of seniors, hasn't made it to the state championship or the state tournament yet, and that's their goal. Travis Maines will tell you pretty openly that it's glass house or bust. And also in the NET Hoops book, we've got a nice feature on Sydney Pierce, who's the center at Daniel Boone. She signed with Carson Newman. She actually had a couple Division I offers, Western Kentucky, UAB, Arkansas started talking to her, Wisconsin, and she decided to go to Carson Newman to pursue her nursing degree. Her mother, Tammy Larkey, was actually an All-American, parade All-American in 1980 for Daniel Boone, and so she's lived up to her legacy a little bit and is wearing that 52, and that 52 will go right back up in the rafters when Sydney's done with it where Tammy put it. So it's kind of a cool story, and we'll have more of that in the magazine.
All this is coming up. Magazines due to be out when?
Monday.
Coming out Monday the 12th.
It's coming out Monday the 12th, so it'll be on all those district sites, and people will be able to pick it up.
Yep. So basketball hoops, it's that time of the season. And, of course, the girls have teams ranked in the state again this week, namely Daniel Boone, Morristown West, and the Lady Rebels of South Green. Gentlemen do not. That kind of tells you, I guess, to a point, where we are this year in basketball, the boys, although there's a chance for them to get hot and make some noise in the second season. But I think it's like 5 or 6 weeks running we haven't had a boys team ranked in the state, which is very unusual for this part of the state, but that's the way it is. But the girls very much represented again this week. We'll run down the polls here in just a few minutes. You also put out the Pigskin magazine back earlier in the football season. That was a big success.
Yeah, we got a great response for that. We're already starting to ramp up for next year, seeing some things we can do differently. But with the football season, obviously tomorrow is signing day, which is a really big day for a lot of people in the area. Locally, we've got a few kids that are signing. Jalen Adams, quarterback for Science Hill, who had a very successful career as a Hilltopper. He's going to sign with the Citadel tomorrow. So that's a SoCon team that, Jalen's getting away from the Bucks. He's going to the Citadel, and it looks like if he can put some weight on, he may play quarterback in their option offense. But right now they're looking at him as a defensive back. But Jalen's just such a talented kid that I'm sure he'll be successful anywhere. Right down the road, Daniel Boone's got a few signings tomorrow. Bailey Presnell was an all-state offensive lineman. He's going to Carson Newman, along with Zach Taylor will also be going to Carson Newman. And I've been told that quarterback Noah Shelton and running back Mason Monger are also in serious discussions with the Eagles, and they could, all four of them could actually wind up in Carson Newman next year. Noah is a talented quarterback and also a high jumper that finished third in the state last year, so just an overall athlete.
Chandler Mullins, young man from Elizabeth, they're going to be signing to play football at East Tennessee State tomorrow, so they're pretty excited in Elizabeth in the Cyclone Country that Chandler's going to head over there and play football for Coach Sanders, brand new coach Randy Sanders at East Tennessee State. Also, the young man from Hampton, name escapes me, that outstanding running back. He's
Adam
going to be.
McClain.
There you go. I think he has made his intentions known to also play at East Tennessee State, and so that's another big shot in the arm for, I feel like, East Tennessee State football.
There's two more actually. Julian Juice Lane from West Green. He's kind of an athlete. He's another high jumper that was all-state. He's committed to the Bucks, and offensive lineman Chris Rideout from Greenville will sign with the Bucks tomorrow. So I'm glad to see the new staff already getting to know the local coaches and picking up some of those kids.
Well, what happens there when you recruit these local kids, that puts the old fannies in the seats.
Yeah,
I mean, let's face it, it's going to bring people from Hampton and from Elizabeth over to watch the Bucks, and that just adds more fans in the seats. And hey, we got good talent here locally in high school football. It's been proven, so why not recruit them? And that's, again, a tip of the cap to these schools are reaching out to our local kids and saying we want them to play football for the next 4 years on the collegiate level. We're talking to Colin Brooks, so the basketball book comes out again on Monday. Have you had a chance to watch any of the teams play this year?
I haven't. I'm with the Johnson City Schools now, so I'm not getting out to the games like I once was, but I still cheer for our local teams. I know on the boys' side it's down a little bit this year, but there's still some really talented teams out there. Crockett, Boone, Science Hill, they could all make a run and maybe get to Murfreesboro. I don't know if it's realistic for them to win that, but just to go and have that experience is always great.
Well, and what I keep hearing, and of course I've heard it since summer camp, that this is the year for the Lady Trailblazers, that they in the summer camp beat some of the teams they would face in the tournament, which it's summer camp, but still it's something to build on. So I think our best shot here locally would probably be, well, Morristown West got a great team too, the Lady Trojans, but I would think Daniel Boone's ladies and also the South Green Lady Rebels. Aren't they the defending state champs?
They are defending state champs, but a weird tweak this year. They had to move up. They were single A, and with the new classifications, they actually moved up to double A this year. So we'll see how that works out. They've still got the nucleus of those back-to-back state champion teams, but going up a level could, throw a little wrinkle in their plans. Daniel Boone, those girls are just great. They've got their point guard, Macy Culbertson, who's signed with Belmont. And it's glass house or bust. I mean, and they'll tell you that openly. So it's going to be exciting to see in that emotion. Every game could be your last.
Of course, Scotty Whaley would argue that point at Science Hill, saying, hey, we got a pretty good team too. So, yeah, the district tournament next week for the ladies in particular down at Crockett's going to be really good. Again, AAA is going to be at Crockett, AA is going to be at Elizabeth, and single A tournament will be right down the road here at Daniel Boone. So it all gets going next week. And, even if you've had a so-so season, the old magic word called upset, you can go in there on a 2 or 3 game run and get hot, knock some teams off, and I anticipate that happening. It typically does. So you can take a team that's struggled all year long, they get kind of going, and they can pull off an upset and play the spoiler role.
The worst thing you ever want to do going into a district tournament, regional tournament, is overlook the team that you're about to play, because
Absolutely.
they would like nothing better than to ruin your year and end your season. And it only takes just a game of basketball and it's over. So
one bad night.
Yep, exactly.
You got it. You hungry?
Yeah, love Phil's Dream Pit. It's one of the best barbecue places around.
Oh, yeah.
Can't beat it.
Oh, no. And again, as we've said, coming up on Saturday's the 10th anniversaries. You come in Saturday, bring in some canned goods. You get 10% off on Saturday. And then if you, by virtue of it's been the 10th anniversary, you get 10% off anyway. So you come in here and eat on Saturday, this coming Saturday, you get your food for 20% off the tab. You can't beat that with the big stick. So, and get 10% off all week when you bring in some canned goods. So this is their big anniversary birthday celebration week. So it is a good thing. So, Mr. Brooks, you're awesome. Give me some taters.
I appreciate you, Tom.
Get yourself something. You've already eaten them, haven't you?
Yeah, I've already
What'd
eaten.
you have, big dog?
The pulled chicken sandwich and some potato salad. Real quick, if I could, I'm on my lunch break from my real job, but let me go ahead and plug Science Hill real quick. They play tonight, and something that's cool, they'll be honoring Langston with it being Black History Month. The teams will be wearing Langston colors during warm-ups, some special T-shirts that Keith had made. So that'll be pretty cool. It's also senior night, so wouldn't be a bad time to come out and see the Hilltoppers play their last game at home this season.
Yeah, Langston was the high school. For those of you not from here, Langston's a high school here in Johnson City for many, many years, and it merged into what is now Science Hill High School.
Yeah, they merged in the 60s, I believe, mid-60s.
So, yep, that's pretty cool. Hello to Gary Taylor. Hello to Andy Thaxton watching the show up in West Virginia. Our buddy Gary Taylor right down the road, and no relation, but he's a cool cat, so we appreciate him. Colin Brooks, you've already eaten, so I guess you're heading back to your day job, right?
Going back to work, thanks for having me, Tom. It's always great.
You got it. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll talk to Phil Pipkin, the owner of Phil's Dream Pit, and our college, pro, and high school basketball segment coming up next. We've got the latest top 25, who's going to be playing where tonight, including a big game at Rupp Arena. John Calipari has called out the Wildcat Army tonight because Tennessee's coming to town. We'll tell you about that. Also, we've got the NBA and the Cavaliers. LeBron's kind of sent out a signal to the rest of the NBA for the rest of the season, which is interesting. High school basketball scheduled tonight, and also the latest rankings, both college and high school, all coming up right here on show number 682 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
And back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live at Phil's Dream Pit. Coming up in just a few minutes, our buddy Joe Vento from the Johnson City Press talking about those red-hot Buccaneers. In fact, we have the polls out this week in college basketball, and I'm not going to steal all of his thunder because I want him to talk more about this, but the Bucs actually got a vote in the honorable mention category of the college basketball for this week, and deservedly so. They're a red-hot team. Let's run down top 25 in college basketball, at least the top 10. Again, the top three have not changed. Villanova, Virginia, and Purdue. Keep an eye on Purdue. I think this team's going to make some noise in March Madness. These guys can play. Villanova, Virginia, Purdue, the top three. Michigan State up to number 4. Xavier, the Musketeers, up to number 5. Cincinnati 6th. Texas Tech 7th. Auburn 8th. Duke rounds out, actually number 9, and then Kansas rounds out the top 10. Tennessee this week up 3 to number 15 for Rick Barnes' ball club. They will take on 24th-ranked Kentucky tonight at Rupp Arena. John Calipari says all hands on deck, need a full house because Tennessee's coming. They beat us earlier in the season in Knoxville, so we need a full house tonight. So they're, I've not known him to come out and say, get everybody in there we can, all the fannies in the seats if possible. So understanding that it's a big game tonight at Rupp Arena in Lexington. Hello to Mary Ellen Malone in Charleston, West Virginia, watching the show. Hello, Mary Ellen. Thank you. Again, Gary Taylor, as we said, Darius Hensley, Jerry McNeil, Terry Turner over in Rock Hill, South Carolina watching. Also, we got Darius Hensley here in Bluff City and Gary Taylor in Kingsport watching. Thank you very, very much. Top 25, here we go. It goes like this tonight. 5th-ranked Xavier, the Musketeers, will be at Butler to battle the Bulldogs tonight. 6th-ranked Cincinnati at home against Central Florida. As we said, 15th-ranked Tennessee, the Volunteers, at 17-5. Had 16 wins last year. They've already eclipsed that, obviously. Volunteers 17-5 at Kentucky. 24th-ranked Wildcats at 17-6. Other top 25 teams tonight: 20th-ranked Michigan, the Wolverines at 19-6 at Northwestern, 14-10. 4th-ranked Michigan State plays tonight. Spartans at 22-3 of Tom Izzo will be at Iowa, 12-13. That could be a trap game, 9 o'clock tip on ESPN. 10th-ranked Kansas hosting Texas Christian. Again, the Jayhawks at 18-5, TCU at 16-7, and the Shockers of Wichita State, 22nd in the land at 17-5, will play at Memphis tonight. Memphis, baby, as Elvis. It's terrible. Wichita State at Memphis tonight. Again, Wichita State 17-5 and Memphis at 14-9. And that is, again, your top 25 college basketball. Ladies polls out. UConn, Mississippi State, Baylor, Louisville, Notre Dame, the top 5. Then comes Texas, South Carolina, UCLA, Oregon, and Maryland. The Lady Vols, again, up a notch, number 11 this week in the latest basketball poll for the women's AP Top 25. So that's what's going on there. NBA, our basketball segment continues. NBA tonight and from last night. Again, Washington, 9-point win at Indiana. Detroit gets a 10-point win against Portland in Detroit. Orlando wins on the road at Miami by 2. And so, good morning, Tom. Was reminiscing last night. You remember the play we did at Andrew Jackson Junior High? Yeah, I remember. It was about Harlequin. I sure do. I was in it. Harlequin, the play Gosh, that was a long time ago, back at junior high, Mary Ellen. But yes, I do remember that deer very much. And Elvis, you're not. Thank you. You're exactly right. I'm not Elvis. I'm not going to do that anymore. 24th ranked Utah. Utah wins by 24 at New Orleans. You have Denver, a 17-point win. Come on in here, Mr. Phil. Denver, a 17-point win last night over Charlotte. The Chicago Bulls win at Sacramento by 6. And the Clippers with a 3-point win last night over Dallas. Here it goes tonight. NBA, a couple of good matchups. The Celtics at 39-15, playing at Toronto at 36-16. That's a good matchup. Oklahoma City with 30 wins under the belt, playing the defending world champion Golden State Warriors at 41-12, and they will tip that off at 10:30 tonight. 10:30 at Golden State. Other games: the Cavaliers at Orlando, Cavs at 30-21, Orlando at 16-36, Milwaukee and New York, Memphis at Atlanta, Houston plays at Brooklyn tonight, and the Phoenix Suns in LA against the Lakers. That's your NBA schedule. We'll run down a busy night of high school basketball coming up here in just a second. We want to get him on while we got a break in the action, because we got a little lull right now, and that would be our buddy Phil Pipkin, the owner here, of course, of Phil's Dream Pit, celebrating their 10th anniversary. And let's get him on. Boom, and there he is. Look right there.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing awesome.
Oh yeah, he is a happy camper. They said it wouldn't work. They said the location was wrong. They said it just wouldn't work. There's too many barbecue restaurants around here 10 years ago, and you've defied the odds, and you're a living proof that tenacity and grit and hard work pays off, right?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So tell us the story real quick about Phil's Dream Pit, how it all got started right here off Eastern Star.
I was with a logistics company for 20 years and contracted with Eastman, and Eastman was going back to a labor provider, and I was looking at making a move to Edison, New Jersey or Houston, Texas, and I didn't want to leave this area again. So found this building. It had been empty for a little over a year and a half, and gave it a go.
And here it is.
Put my faith out there and said if it'll work or I'll have to go back to doing what I was doing.
And here we are, going strong 10 years later.
Yes, sir.
Opened the door at 11 o'clock today, and they were standing out there in line trying to get in the place. That tells you what kind of response they have here at Phil's Dream Pit. At one point, not so long ago, you went. I love telling this story. You went to a weekend retreat, I guess, getaway, whatever you want to call it, and you dedicated this business to the Lord, and it just kind of exploded.
It did. The organization's called Solely Business. It originated out of Georgia, and Carter LaCraw and Dave McCauley went down there and checked it out and brought it back to this area, and we have retreats in November at Doe River Gorge. And the one part that really changed my life was, do you compartmentalize your Lord? You put him in a shoebox and pull him out when you need him, and put him back when you don't. And that was kind of my life, was my business and everything was pull him out when I needed him. And came back and told my wife, I said, I'm giving the business to God. And comment cards asking about the food, those got tossed in the trash, and we put prayer request cards on the table, and more concerned about, I know my food's good, more concerned about people's hearts and what they're going through more than what the food is.
I think it's safe to say, you come in here, there's hurting people that come in here all the time. There's hurting people everywhere, right?
And your employees, they need you. Employees go through things that sometimes they're not comfortable in talking to you about, and we pray every day before we open, and just try to get involved in their lives and help them where we can as a business. And same with people in the community and organizations, is what can Phil's Dream Pit do to support those.
You got it. And they do it well. They're in a lot of different places and making an impact on a lot of different people. A lot of times behind the scenes, you don't really know what's going on behind, because Phil likes to operate that way, and that's the old left hand to know what the right hand's doing, and that's good. But the good Lord knows what he's doing. And we know what we're doing this week. We're celebrating the 10th anniversary, big birthday. So all week long, get a chance to save by bringing in some canned goods. And this coming Saturday, you can double your pleasure. Come in here and eat on Saturday. This coming Saturday only, 20% off the tab. Tell us how this is going to work.
So, and it could actually be 30%. So we're giving 10% off if you bring in a canned good.
That's right.
So all this week up through Saturday, if you bring a canned good in, you get 10% off your meal. On Saturday, we're doing 10% for a canned good, 10% for our anniversary, and if you're a veteran, you get another 10%.
Awesome.
So, and then sales on Saturday, we're going to donate 10% of the sales to Second Harvest Food Bank, as well as the canned goods.
It's awesome. And there's a lot of hungry people out there right now, too. And so It stays right here. And so all week long, we bring you some canned goods here to Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit of Interstate 26. You get 10% off your tab. Then on Saturday, if you bring the canned goods on Saturday, you get an automatic 10% because it's a birthday day, it's celebration day. That's 20. If you're a veteran, you get another 10%. You can come in and eat on Saturday for 30% off the tab because of the 3 reasons. So, and then on top of that, everybody benefits. You get the great food from Phil's. Second Harvest Food Bank benefits, and the Veterans benefit too.
The Veterans benefit. And we also got a good friend of mine is starting a business, Maida Cakes, but she's going to be here with homemade cupcakes and going to ice them whatever icing you want on them and sprinkles or whatever. So kind of plug her, you know, it's called Phil's Dream Pit. It's her dream to start a business, and I thought that'd be awesome to have her here starting her dream.
See, he's a great guy, so we'll have to get her on. We're going to be here doing the show Saturday from 1 to 3. We'll come over and be a part of the celebration, and can't wait. We're going to come over and hang out and do a show because we believe in this man and his wife and what they stand for and what they represent. So, and as far as his cupcakes, playing a little seed here, Valentine's Day is next Wednesday, so if your Valentine's significant other likes cupcakes, this may be a place to come and get them and take them and hide them and give them to them on Valentine's. So tell us, for folks out there who've never been there, I guess I hear more about your ribs than anything else. Tell us about your ribs here at Phil's Dream Pit.
I've got 2 types of ribs. I've got just a sweet rib that we put our sweet sauce on as it's smoking. And then through my logistics background, I spent a lot of time in Memphis, and I fell in love with the Rendezvous and the dry rub ribs, which when I opened the restaurant, it kind of forced me to come up with my own dry rub, and I think I've got one of the best dry rub ribs you'll ever have.
Something they now, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And brisket is one of the good sellers. I get a lot of really good comments on the brisket, especially from Texas folks in the area.
Pulled chicken. He now has pulled chicken in there, and it is, I mean, that's what I get almost every time I come in here. It is awesome.
Thank you.
Love the pulled chicken. Whew. And the hash browns, and I'm getting hungry. And the nanner pudding that Lisa makes, good stuff. Tell me something that's on the menu that we don't talk a lot about. Folks go, gosh, I didn't know they had that. What's something you got?
I'd say a dream dog or a Barbie dog. It's an all beef hot dog, and sounds kind of weird, but the dream dog is an all beef hot dog smothered with baked beans and slaw. And you can't pick it up and eat it. You better have a fork and a knife. But,
You're right.
All the flavors just meld together really good.
Hickory smoked hot dog. If you've not had his hickory smoked hot dog, after that there is no other hot dog as far as I'm concerned. And I mean, it is absolutely out of this world. Love it. Every time I come in here, get me a hot dog. Sometimes I get with nothing on it. I just put it in the tray and eat it because it's just that good.
Yeah, we went through, I guess, tried 50 different hot dogs till we found one we liked, and these are pretty special.
Up on the side of the wall here, the Johnson City Press Reader's Choice Award is the favorite barbecue place. The big plaque stand up, or it's not standing, but hanging up on the wall. You're very proud of that.
I'm proud of all of our accomplishments. You know, it's nice to be recognized for, you know, good service and good food, and we really pride ourselves on that. You know, if you read our reviews on TripAdvisor or on our Facebook page, the reviews are always great service, great people, and great food.
You got it. Joe Venta is going to join us coming up next. Again, he writes for the Johnson City Press. He's waiting in the wings. Talk a little ETSU Buck sports and football recruiting. Tomorrow's National Signing Day. And, of course, the very latest on the men's team, who got some lofty award bestowed upon him again this week. Well, we'll steal his thunder, let him tell you all about that coming up here in a few minutes. So,
can I add one more thing?
Oh, absolutely.
I just want to thank my customers.
Oh, yes.
You know, because it don't matter what your dream is, if you don't have people to support that dream, we wouldn't be able to be here doing what we're doing if it wasn't for the customers.
Absolutely. And so they do catering. We'll get you back in here in a little while. I want you to do one more segment before we get out of here. But I want to talk about how you can, if you can't stay to eat, you can get it catered. You can come in and buy meat by the pound. There's different ways you can take the product with you home if you can't sit down and enjoy this cool atmosphere here at Phil's Dream Pit. So we'll get you back on in a little while.
Okay, thank you.
Love this guy right here. He's awesome. One of the cool things about my job, not being cheesy, but one of the cool things about doing this every day is meeting guys like Joe Vento and this gentleman and the Copenhabers and the Dietrichs of Champion Chevrolet and all the folks at Food City. That's the cool part about building relationships doing this show every day. And so this guy's Top shelf in my book, he and his lovely bride. Quick break, we'll be right back. My man's in the house talking about the Bucks. Joe Vento from the Johnson City Press joins us next year on show number 682.
Wow.
Like Phil, they said this show wouldn't work. A sports show on the internet? Not a chance. 682. We'll be right back right after this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just two great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we are live again at Phil's Dream Pit. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. We're joined by my man right here, of course, with the Johnson City Press and Kingsport Times News, our buddy Joe Vento, covering the Buccaneers. And first off, thanks for coming. And always glad to have you. It took me, 2 years to get this guy on the show. Now he's a regular, and I love it because he comes with so much information. And so here's the front page of the Johnson City Press. My man, Bradford named SOCOM Player of the Month. You covered that, and that's your story, so I'm not going to steal your thunder. Take it away.
Well, I mean, it wasn't much of a story. They made the announcement. This is not exactly a scoop. They announced that he was a Player of the Month, and he's starting to, Desante Bradford's starting to receive some accolades now. He was the Player of the Week last week, and he's Player of the Month for the whole month of January. The Bucs won 9 games. He averaged almost 16 points a game, and all you got to do is watch one game and you realize that he's the best player on the best team in the league. So I anticipate this momentum he's starting to build could lead to him being the player of the year. He was player of the week last week. And in the 2 games since then he scored 23 and 31. So he's I wouldn't be surprised if he's player of the week again. And if he wins a couple of player of the weeks in a row and a player of the month, people are going to start having to look at him as a player of the year in the conference.
The Bucks are 21-4. They won 15 in a row, tying for the second longest winning streak in school history. They'll try and tie the school record Saturday on the road in Lexington, Virginia against VMI Cadets. On paper, that should be a win for the Bucks, but you don't play it on paper. It's a tough place I've called games up there. The Cadets go nuts. It's a tough place, tough environment to go up there and play in Lexington.
It is, but in reality, ETSU, I think last time I checked, last time I remembered, they beat VMI by something like 40 in Johnson City. There's a pretty wide difference in those 2 teams. That being said, VMI has had a couple teams beaten this year in the last minute and let those games slip away. So you never take anything for granted, especially when you're on such a winning streak and you don't want to see it end. So the worst thing they could do is go in there and thinking they can win before it's even played and just have a stumble. Because if they're able to take care of business Saturday, then next Monday is just the biggest game of the year for them. They'd be playing at UNC Greensboro, second place team, and they would be going to they would be going to break the all-time school record. Yep. That would be 17 at that point, and they would be trying to win on Greensboro's home court, where they didn't do it last year in the big game that meant a lot. So, they still got plenty to play for.
You got to know Greensboro. If it gets to that point, if they win on Saturday and head that way to Greensboro to set the, you got to know that's on the bulletin board for UNC Greensboro.
Well, I mean, it's the 2 teams that played in the championship game last year in the SoCon tournament, so they had that going. They came to Freedom Hall, and actually, it was a very good, close game, even though ETSU ended up winning by 10. They got a Player of the Year candidate that wants to prove to ETSU that he belongs up there with the best players in the league, and Francis Alonso. And he only had about maybe 11 points in Freedom Hall, so he's got something to prove. So it's going to be an interesting few weeks for ETSU basketball.
Dr. Joe Avento covers the Bucks again with the Johnson City Press and the Kingsport Times News. So also really cool about what happened today in the college basketball polls. Again, we went down the top 25. Villanova is still number 1, but down there in the honorable mention is East Tennessee State University. That's awesome.
Well, it's interesting how it happened too. There's just a few certain writers around the country get votes on the AP poll, and just one guy in Iowa, he voted for ETSU as I guess he picked them 25th because they got 1 point, and there they were on the list down there. I think 2 teams had 1 point. It was Vermont and ETSU, and the guys from Iowa, and that's where Steve Forbes is from. And I noticed Forbes pointed out the guy's name on Facebook, so I'm not sure if they know each other or not, but Forbes is pretty happy to be getting some love out of Iowa because that's where he's from.
You've covered a lot of basketball over the years in your career, obviously. In your humble opinion, how good is this Buck basketball team?
It's interesting because you try to compare, it's like the LeBron, Michael Jordan kind of argument. Is the Mr. Jennings or the Tim Smith group or this group better? And they all did such different things that this one stacks up with anybody just based on what they're doing. Those teams didn't win. Well, I guess it did. The 2004 team had 16 in a row, but this team is special. This team has a feel to it that if it got into the NCAA tournament, it could make a run because of a couple of things. The way they play defense. When you talk about defense, a lot of people think you're creating turnovers and stuff, but this team just guards people. They prevent them from shooting. Nobody ever shoots over 40%. It's always in the 30s. And when you're shooting in the 30s, it's hard to win. So and this team has size, even though their power forwards are on the smaller side. Peter Jerkin at 7 feet and Mladen Armas at 6'10", 230. Those are 2 big guys. And when they play against big teams like Kentucky and Xavier, the matchup is in their favor because they like playing a team with a straight-up big man. These other teams in the Southern Conference, a lot of the big men run around and shoot threes. ETSU's kind of built for major college basketball in that regard. This team has a Sweet 16 feel to it. I've been saying that. People have been telling me to shut up. But one more thing, they have to get there. And the only way they're going to get there, no matter what their record is to win the tournament. I talked to Forbes yesterday, and he said, in reality, we could win out and go to the Southern Conference Championship game at 29-4. If we lose that game, we're not getting a bid. He said there's just no way. They haven't beaten a top 50 or a top 100 even, so he said that's just the reality of it. But if they get there, I think they can make some noise.
Yeah, look out. And, of course, you want to get there, but if you can't, they're always an NIT. So.
And the SoCon regular season champ gets automatic NIT berth,
yeah.
So that would be automatic. But, and normally that would be kind of an exciting thing, but not this year.
Yeah.
This team has such big things in front of it.
The season's winding down. You play at VMI on Saturday. Then, as you mentioned, UNC Greensboro. Then they come back home for a couple of games. What's
there's
the rest
another
of the
road
season?
game before at Western Carolina.
Western Carolina.
There's 3 road games in a row, and then they come home for 3.
3 to wrap up the regular season.
That wraps up, yeah. So there's 6 games left. Like Forbes said, they're getting great crowds. He said he wanted people to realize that this thing's winding down. It's going to be over before you know it. There's only 3 home games left.
Atmosphere at Freedom Hall is unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, and here's what's cool. A local chicken establishment
yes.
has a contest where if the other team misses 2 free throws in a row, everybody in the house gets a chicken sandwich. And they stay to the end for that. And when the other team gets to the line, you should hear the place.
Place goes nuts.
If they miss the first one, forget it. And the guys on the bench, the press table's near the bench. They're like looking at it, like, what the heck's going on? And we tell them, and then sometimes those guys start rooting for them to miss because they want a chicken sandwich too.
And it's the David and Goliath.
It hadn't
Everybody's
happened,
against you.
It hasn't happened in a while, and Forbes jokingly has been apologizing because we're not fouling the right guy. He said, I got to look at the stats late in the game and foul the right guy.
We're talking to Joe Vento again with the Johnson City Press and Kingsport Times News. On the other side of the ledger, Lady Bucks, what's going on with them right now?
Well, they're in second place, and they got a big one coming up Saturday. They're at Chattanooga. Chattanooga, 6-3 in the conference. I think it's 6-3. They got 3 losses. ETSU has 2. So if the Bucks can win that, they'll pull a couple games ahead for second place. And if they lose it, they'll be tied for second. So that's a big game. And, like we always say, the records don't matter when they're playing Chattanooga. And especially now that ETSU won the first game at ETSU against the Lady Mocs.
National Signing Day football tomorrow. I know Coach Sanders got a couple of youngsters locally. Chandler Mullins, Elizabethton's going to sign to play at East Tennessee State. Another young man. We get the full list when they get them after tomorrow's signing day. But we're talking about the big boys going after kids. Well, and the trickle-down effect, the ETSUs are out there trying to beat the bush and get kids too.
Well, and every year, signing day in any sport, it's always fun to read the accolades of the people they sign and the nice things the coaches say about it. We used to joke with Murray Bartow at ETSU. I mean, he and I would joke. Every kid's an All-American when you sign him. All they say is such great stuff about him. You just don't know how it's going to pan out. It's just such a crapshoot, especially at the FCS level. These guys are going to come in. They're expected to sign anywhere between 16 and maybe 18 or 20 guys tomorrow. And like we said last time, it's funny. You get in that football office and they got a fax machine, and the stuff comes off the fax machine. And they see the sign, the letter of intent sign. They can start announcing them.
That's how they found out.
Yeah, it's faxing. It's all faxed in. You'd think in this day and age there'd be a more efficient way of doing it, But
so the coaches were sitting there beside the fax machine, and in comes Joe Vento. He signed. Tom Taylor signed. That's how they found out.
They start high-fiving. Hey, we got this guy. They're pretty sure.
That's crazy.
They're pretty sure they got him. Until they see that signature, they're not totally sure.
It's good stuff. So we'll find out again by Thursday who they've signed.
Yeah, they're going to have a press conference tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and they'll have the list and bios, and believe it or not, most of the kids who are signing have already been here and had their pictures taken in uniforms. So you'll see pictures of them in ETSU, and the kids that they have the pictures of that don't sign, they just get thrown away. Or maybe they get sent off where those Buffalo Bills Super Bowl champs hats are.
Before I let him go, we're going to switch gears. His team and all the teams report next week. Most of the pitchers and catchers report Tuesday and or Wednesday for Major League Baseball spring training, and your team has been known. As a matter of fact, it's been affectionately called the Evil Empire. Tanner's going to be with us tomorrow on the show. Isn't Tanner?
Yeah, I think he is. I think so.
Yeah, Tanner Cookson will join us. So someone who does not like the Yankees said the Evil Empire, and everybody else reports tomorrow. So apparently the Yankees went out and they've kind of bolstered their team in the offseason, haven't they?
A little bit. You think so?
Yeah. I love this guy. Yeah, they have.
My grandmother, when she was in her 90s, would call me. She lived in North Jersey, and she would call me and say, "Did you watch the Yankees game?" I'd say, "Well, they were on the West Coast. The game didn't end until 2 o'clock. No, I missed that one." But she said, "How about that Jeter? How about that Jeter?" She said, "It's a hit every time." Boy, she just loved the Yankees, and it's hard for me not to pull for them just because of her. So
good memories, isn't it?
Yeah,
great memories. That
Jeter.
That Jeter. That day,
she also used to tell me when we were kids, "Quit hitting your brother." I won't tell you what she said after that.
When you would hit your brother, you?
Joe? My brother's a bodybuilder now, so.
Ain't no hitting now, is there? No. Hey, I know you got to get to a meeting. I appreciate you very much. Again, great job, you and your staff. You can see I highlight this thing. I got reference points all over this place for this out of this paper every day. It's good stuff. So, Johnson City Press and the Kingsport Times News do a great job covering all the sports locally. It's not easy. You got a lot of territory, don't you?
Yeah, we got a lot of territory and not a lot of people, but we get around, we get around, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So what'd you get? I know you're taking it with you. What'd you get today?
I got pulled pork platter.
This is your first trip in, right?
It is.
Good stuff. So, hey, I appreciate you much.
Okay, thanks,
You're
Tom.
awesome, yeah. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll take a look at high school basketball. Big night tonight around the region. We'll tell you who's playing where. Final week of the regular season. Got some baseball signings. Some of the free agents are beginning to settle into place. As we said, spring training starts next week for Major League Baseball. And we got some NASCAR. And we got the Can-Am duels, and we got a signing, big announcement off the Johnson City Press paper about Bristol Motor Speedway and one of the great sponsors. We get a chance to talk about Bush's Beans, all that coming up. But first, take this time out. We're live at Phil's Dream Pit.
I never know where to look.
It's right there.
Yeah, well, I know that.
Cheetah. I like that cheetah. And quit hitting your brother. That's great. We'll take a break. We'll be right back on the Tom Davis Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
Do you need an event catered? At Phil's Dream Pit, we cater for gatherings over 50 people, weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, company picnics, sporting banquets, to name a few. We can set up, clean up, and of course serve. We also offer value packs that include all the food. You pick that up and serve it yourself. Check out our webpage at philsdreampit.com. That's philsdreampit.com. Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit on I-26, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we're a phone call away at 423-349-6437, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back at the Tom Douglas Sports Show, let's take a look again at, as promised, high school basketball tonight. Big night tonight for hoops around the region. First off, let's get you dialed into the polls throughout this week in Tennessee. Again, none of the boys teams locally are in the polls for about the, 6th or 7th week, which is interesting. But again, it kind of tells you been kind of a tough year in boys basketball as far as statewide here in our local region. So AAA Memphis East is the number one boys team. AA, it's East Nashville. And the single A team is the Lead Academy. That's the top three in the classifications of each particular class, or I should say the number one, each particular class. Now, AAA a little bit different. Murfreesboro Riverdale, number one in the state. Morristown West is Lady Trojans, the number 4 in the state. Daniel Boone's Lady Trailblazers, number 7 in the state. They're up 2 notches. Daniel Boone's ladies at 21-4, the number 7 in the state. Morristown West ladies at 19-2. They remain number 4 in the state. In AA basketball, Upperman at number 1. The South Green Lady Rebels staying right at number 4 in the state at 24-3. And then the single A polls this week, Clark Range and Greenfield are tied for number 1 in the state. So you got 2 in AAA, Morristown West and Daniel Boone 4 and 7th respectively, and South Green's Lady Rebels, the defending state champs in single A basketball before they moved up. South Green again is in the AA rankings at number 4 in the state. As we said earlier, college signings, what's coming up again for college for 2018 goes as follows. Tomorrow, Science Hill quarterback Jalen Adams will make things official. He'll sign at the Citadel at 3 o'clock at Science Hill, signing with the Citadel, I should say. Elizabethton's Chandler Mullins will be playing football at East Tennessee State. That'll be at 3:30 tomorrow at Elizabethton High School. Also, you have Science Hill's Carson Lodge signing to play baseball at Bryan College. In softball, Science Hill slugger Mia Edwardson putting her name on the dotted line with Walter State. Also, you have Daniel Boone's football program. Bailey Presnell and Zach Taylor both going to Carson Newman, and they'll do that at 10:45, the signing tomorrow at the school. Hampton standout running back Hunter Davenport, he's going to be playing football at Carson Newman. He'll sign at 2 o'clock tomorrow at the Hampton Library. Tennessee High, 4 athletes there out of Bristol making their college decision known. The Tanner Booker, Monterey College for baseball. Kaylee McMillan, Monterey College for volleyball. Judson McCray, West Virginia Tech, the Golden Bears in wrestling, and Kennedy Tester and Lincoln Memorial be for soccer. And that's your 4 signees for science, or rather for Tennessee High coming up tomorrow as well. Now, high school basketball. Let's run it down for you. First off, on the boys, the standings in AAA. Science Hill at 10-1, Dobbins Bennett at 9-1. The Three Rivers Conference here in the final week of the regular season. Unicoi County with a 1-game lead over Sullivan East. Again, Unicoi County 9-2, Sullivan East at 7-3. In the Watauga Valley Conference, Hampton, the Bulldogs at 7-1, North Green at 5-2. And so that is the standings for the gentlemen. For the ladies, Big 7 Conference, again, Daniel Boone, 7th in the state at 10-0. They're on top of the Big 7. Science Hill at 9-2 in second place. Three Rivers Conference Tournament. Here's the school benefiting from dropping down in the reclassification a year ago, as Sullivan Central goes from AAA down to AA, and they're winning the Three Rivers Conference girls basketball race. They're at 9-1, Unicoi County at 8-3. In the Watauga Valley Conference, Hampton at 7-1, North Green at 6-1 in second place, and Unaka right there nipping at their heels at 5-3. So here's who's playing where coming up. Again, there's my man, right on time, Big Zebster. And so here's who's playing where tonight in high school basketball. Final week of the regular season. Caleb with you? Nope. Elizabeth? Well, you said that pretty quick. Is there a fight? Has there been problems? Is there tension? Caleb here? Nope. Okay, move on. All right. Elizabethton at Science Hill. Daniel Boone tonight, a volunteer. Dobbins Minute plays in Viking Hall at Tennessee High tonight. Cherokee at Crockett. Happy Valley and Colonial Heights to battle Sullivan South. Sullivan Central goes to Unicoi County. Johnson County at Sullivan East tonight. Also, Sullivan North plays at Unaka. Cloudland at University High. And Hampton at North Green in action tonight. Last night, boys played. North beat Providence Academy by 24, 64-40. Providence Academy beat the girls of Sullivan North by a 42-30 score last night in girls high school basketball. So that's what's going on from last night and tonight. So again, one more time around the region. Elizabethton at Science Hill. Daniel Boone at Volunteer. Dobbins Minute at Tennessee High. Cherokee at Crockett tonight. You have Happy Valley at Sullivan South, Sullivan Central at Unicoi County, Johnson County at Sullivan East, Sullivan North at Golden Raiders at Unaka tonight, University High hosting Cloudland, and Hampton will be at North Green to battle the Huskies, and that is your schedule tonight for high school basketball. Let's take a switch gears and talk about Major League Baseball. A couple of folks have signed free agents. Todd Frazier moving from the Yankees to the New York Mets, 2 years, $17 million deal. Again, you've got Major League Spring Training coming up a week from today. Everybody reports pitchers and catchers, so that tells us obviously Major League Baseball not that far away, which means warm weather's not that far away. Todd Frazier, again, last year 27 homers and 76 RBIs for the White Sox and the Yankees. And so Todd Frazier, again, a $17 million 2-year deal with the New York Mets. That's one gentleman that signed. Also, World Series MVP George Springer and the Houston Astros avoided salary arbitration by agreeing Monday to a $24 million 2-year contract. Springer gets $12 million a year under the deal and be eligible for arbitration again after the 2019 season. And so Springer, again, stays with the Houston Astros for 2 more years through 2020. That's what's going on in Major League Baseball. Still some guys out there that need to be signed up, and time is running out for them to get to a particular team. As we said, spring training starts basically next Tuesday, a week from today, for all pitchers and catchers to report in Major League Baseball. One pro football note, the Detroit Lions made it official hiring Patriots defensive coordinator Matt Patricia as the new head coach 1 day after the New England losing to the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Again, Matt Patricia on Bill Belichick's staff for 14 seasons, the team's defensive coordinator for the past 6. And so Detroit firing Jim Caldwell after the team went 9-7 this season, and so missed the playoffs. So Matt Patricia, the new head coach of the Detroit Lions in the NFL. Last but not least, a story, of course, the Super Bowl 7% drop in viewership from last year. And so they attributed that to the obvious, much like it was with me. Didn't watch it because they can't stand for the national anthem. They don't need me. And so I didn't watch it. I saw the last play of the game. I was at a restaurant walking out and saw the Hail Mary by Brady, and that's the only thing I watched, and probably the best play of the game, really, get right down to it. So anyway, viewership of the Super Bowl down 7% from a year ago, and so that's what's going on there with that. All right, we got NASCAR news coming up. We're going to take a break, come right back. One of our great sponsors, one of our new guys, Sprint, one of our new sponsors on the show. He joins us, the man Zeb Copas, in the house, joins us next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show live at Phil's Dream Pit.
Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just two great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
We're back live again. No, I'm not Zeb Copas, and Caleb Sparks on assignment, not with us today, but let's get the man on the camera right here because he's got some great deals to talk about. As we talked about earlier about the iPhone 10 for $30 a month for new activations. We've already talked about that. So he's here. He's with us. You see him on camera, the big dog, Zeb Copas. Caleb not with us today, correct?
No, he's not with us today. He had to take a leave of absence.
Oh, did he really?
No, he'll be back.
I never believe this guy.
He'll be back.
He'll be back. He's like, who said that?
He's like that dog that comes around your house you just can't get rid of. You know what I mean?
Arnold Schwarzenegger said, I'll be back. So he's going to be back. He's got his tablet up here ready to roll. So what is this, by the way? What, can folks get this from Sprint?
Yeah, you can get this at Sprint. This is the iPad Pro 12.9 inch. Mm-hmm. This is a big boy.
Big boy.
Yeah.
For the big guy here, Zeb Copas. So let's take off and run with it. You got some great deals this spring. And first off, what have you been, since you were with me last week, so you were at Chick-fil-A last week, since then, what have you been, what have you been personally been moving?
Mostly iPhones this week. Yeah, I've been a lot of iPhones. Yeah, no, more so the 8 Plus. Sold a couple tablets, sold a couple of the free tablets, gave a couple of the free tablets away, you know. And then we've got Sprint Says Thanks coming up this Saturday, so that's cool. One of the big things we're going to do, you know, most of these promotions that we have here, with the exception of a few of them, are, you know, designed to bring customers over to Sprint. But this Saturday, anybody that's from Tom's Show that comes in as an existing customer that does an upgrade, we're going to waive their activation fee. So that's a $30 value. So,
that is awesome.
Yeah. Anybody who mentions Tom's Show this Saturday for an upgrade, you'll get your activation fee waived. So that's cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
I like that. So there you go. You got your homework assignment. Stop by Sprint, North Johnson City, right in front of Longhorn Steakhouse.
That's right.
Yep. So you guys, it's been rocking and rolling.
It has, yeah. It was a little slow there for a little bit.
But it's picked up.
Well, most people waiting on their taxes to come back in, see how much they're going to get, see how much they can spend, you know, in their budget. So, but yeah, it's starting to roll now. And it's getting busy again.
That's what we like. Tell me about the iPhone 10. What's the selling points of the iPhone 10?
iPhone 10, it's got the biggest display out of all the iPhones. Now the phone is smaller than the 8 Plus, which I thought I brought my phone in, but I don't guess I did. I wouldn't show it to you, but it's the footprint of the phone is smaller than the 8 Plus, but it has a bigger screen. So they've done away with the bezel like this. Bezel at the top and the bottom there is gone. So the whole phone is the screen. It's a really nice experience because you don't have to hold such a big phone, but you still get a really large screen. But that right now for new customers, or if you're adding a line of service, it's $30 a month instead of the $41.67. So $11.67 credit. That's a pretty good deal.
We're talking to Zeb Kobus again from Sprint, one of our great sponsors coming up. We're going to talk to Phil one more time again. Got the big anniversary party coming up here on Saturday. Again, if you bring in any canned goods the rest of this week, get 10% off your tab. If you come in Saturday, you get 10% off because it's the birthday celebration, their 10th anniversary. And then if you bring canned goods on Saturday, it's another 10%. And if you're a veteran, that's another 10%. So most of us will be able to eat for 20% off our tab on Saturday only. And if you're a veteran, you get to eat for 30% off your tab. So, or off your bill. So you can't beat that. I keep saying tab gets off your bill, but that is a great deal. And of course, every time I see these guys, I go into Sprint and go, when's your next Phil show? So I guess
we just stopped doing that. I just started texting you.
Yeah. So you're going to eat today, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm going to get some grilled
Absolutely.
Today.
All right, you can lease one and get one of the iPhone 8 from Sprint. Tell me about that.
Yeah, that's anybody that is, it can be an existing customer. So if you're an existing customer, you'll be wanting to add a line of service to take advantage of the promotion. But you just, you add a line and an upgrade, or 2 new lines, 2 add lines. Just has to be 1 new line of service there. And you get the second phone for free, basically in the form of a credit every month on the bill.
Can't beat it. So if you lease 4, you get 4, right? However you want to do it.
That's right.
Lease one, get one.
You lease one, get one. So if you lease 2, you get 2. As long as there's 2 new lines in there, you get 2 free phones. We do it every day.
Yep. Do it every day. Sprint will buy out your current contract with your current carrier to switch you over. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So no matter what carrier you're with, if you have an existing balance owed on your device or contract, most carriers don't do contracts anymore, so we don't see that very often. But usually it's the device payments. People still owe $500-$600 on their phone. We will pay that out. You turn in your phone in good working condition. Can't be broken or anything. But we'll buy out whatever the cost of that phone is, up to $650 per line. So
wow.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
It is a good deal. Mm-hmm. And folks are doing it too, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
They are doing it too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely they are.
Switching over from Verizon.
Every time you come in there, somebody's switching
Hasn't
over.
been a time I've been in there to pay my bill or just come in and see these guys that somebody's not switching over. Verizon, T-Mobile, what's the other ones that people coming in on? Boost?
AT&T. Boost is a subsidy of Sprint, so we see a few of those, but not so much. Mostly it's Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile.
T-Mobile coming over and switching over to Sprint, and with good reason. I will say this: I was at a ball game last week in Unicoi County, and a couple of years ago, the service inside the gym was virtually non-existent. Over there the other night, I guess you guys put towers. It was a solid 4. So when I do Elizabethton baseball this year at Unicoi County, I'll be able to call that game from Unicoi because there's service now in Irwin. So you guys must have put towers up in there. As you continue to improve the quality of the signal every month, right?
Yeah, we do. Especially, that was one of our biggest hurdles, was in the more rural areas like that. We've expanded that out. So the service in Irwin and Unicoi is great now. Some places, it's better than Johnson City.
Talking to our buddy Zeb Kobus from Sprint. If you're a credit union member, a lot of folks are members of credit unions. You got a great deal going on if you're a credit union member. Tell me about that.
Yeah, now the credit union deal, that's a killer deal. Most people do take advantage of that. If you are a member of a credit union, whether you're an existing customer, it works a little different for existing customers, but for the most part, it's the same. It's just a different amount. So with the existing customers, if you come in and upgrade, add a new line of service, the upgrade customers get $50 per line deposit in their credit union account, reimbursement towards accessories. So if you come in, let's say you upgrade 4 phones, you spend $200 in accessories that day, you get all that money back into your credit union account. Let's say you come in and add 2 new lines and 2 upgrades. The new lines of service qualify for $100 instead of $50. So you'll get $300 reimbursed there if you spend $300 in accessories. Or if you do 4 new lines, you get $400 if you spend $400 in accessories. So really good deal there. And you just got to be a member of any credit union. It doesn't matter which one it is. One of the ones that we're partnered with, if you're not a member of a credit union and you'd like to get on that bandwagon, which the credit unions are awesome. I don't know about some of the other ones, but I've got a dividend back this year, and they give you like a dividend based on how much money goes in and out of your account. But I ended up with $100 of free money this year from that, so that was kind of cool.
That is cool.
But the ones that we tend to partner with are Knoxville TVA right there on Rose Street, right down from us. They're right across from the mall in Johnson City. And then if you're in Unicoi or Irwin, the one that we like to partner with down there, they're super nice people, is the Clinchfield Credit Union. They're really nice down there. Couldn't ask for a better bunch of people, you know.
We're Donald Zeb Coverage on the screen with Sprint. Caleb's not with us today. Again, you've got Samsung Galaxy S8, the S8 Plus, or the Note 8 for new activations. 50% off on that. Tell me the selling points of a Galaxy S8, S8 Plus, and a Note 8.
Now, all of those phones are basically the best Android experience you can really get these days. You can't get any better as far as camera goes. They all have wireless charging. The Note 8 has got that pin feature on it. That's usually the one that most business customers are oriented to. Or if you just want to use the pin, draw on it, make faces, whatever is your cup of tea there. But you can do that. But the half off thing is a killer. So you get 50% off the Galaxy Note 8 S8 or S8 Plus. So you could do literally 4 Note 8s for $80 a month. That's a crazy deal.
That is a crazy deal.
Yeah.
Also, they're giving away these are free LG G-Pad F2 8-inch tablets for all customers. These are free. Look right here. I got mine. Oh, I got it right there. Look there. There's old Zeb Cobas right there on the screen. How about that?
That's right.
Yep. So I got this here, and these are free. The LG G-Pad F2 8-inch tablets for all customers, and you've been moving these too, haven't you?
We've been giving them away, yeah. It's hard for us to keep them in stock, actually. As soon as they come in, they're gone.
So people have heard this said, what's the catch? As there is no catch.
There is no catch. You pay for your service on the tablet, which is unlimited data.
There you go.
For $30 a month. If you do auto pay, it's $25. But I mean, there's no catch to it. It's as long as you have service on it. That's the only thing that's really required. I guess you could consider that a catch, but I mean, you're getting something for your money. But yeah, it's unlimited data on that. Use as much as you want, and the tablet's free.
Coming up, we're going to talk NASCAR. We're getting close because next week or this week is the Clash. And, of course, we've got the Can-Am Duels coming up next week to set the field for the Daytona 500, the 60th anniversary of the Great American Race. Kurt Busch defending his crown from a year ago in that 41 machine for Stewart-Haas Racing. So we're going to go racing at Bristol Motor Speedway in 67 days. Can't wait to get back up there and get behind the microphone and get a chance to talk to the folks in the world's last great Coliseum. I love it.
We'll be there.
Oh, baby. 67 days to go racing again at the world's last great Coliseum. We'll tell you how you can get your tickets and get a great, in fact, we can do it right now while he's catching his breath for just a second. And we're going to talk to him about this unlimited freedom plan. But here is what we're talking about right here. This is get your tickets for less at Food City. Again, for the Food City 500, Jimmy Johnson in to defend his crown on April the 15th. Adult tickets are $50. Kids tickets, $12 and under, $10. Get them at Food City. If you can see over in the corner, 500 bonus value points for every ticket you buy at any Food City at the front office. What does that mean for you? That means 150 points get you 15 cents off on a gallon of gas for your fill-up. So for every ticket you buy, you get 3 gas visits. So if you go in, and most folks will buy a pair of tickets, so you get 6 gas visits at Food City to save. I mean, that's a lot of gas, a lot of visits. So every ticket you purchase in any Food City, over 130 stores in 4 states, of course, Tennessee, Virginia, Georgia, and Kentucky. We go to the front office for details. This Friday we'll be at Food City in Piney Flats, and so when you go in, you get 500 bonus value points for every ticket you purchase, not only for the spring race, but the fall race too. But we're pushing, obviously, the spring race, the Food City 500. Jimmy Johnson back in town. They call him Grandpa now because he's one of the senior members of the NASCAR field. And we'll talk about the Can-Am Duels coming up here in a second. But that's a good deal, again, at all Food Cities to go racing at Bristol Motor Speedway. In fact, Ronnie y'all had a big presence up there last year, didn't you?
We did, yeah. If I had to take a guess, I'd say we'll probably do something up there again this year. I just don't know what yet.
Captive audience, why would you not? So,
it's true.
Good place to move phones, even on the racetrack.
Yep.
Phil Pipkin joins us coming up here in just a few minutes. The Unlimited Freedom Plan, $100 for 5 lines. Tell me about that. That's an unbelievable deal.
Unlimited freedom. So it's basically unlimited talk, text, and data for 5 phones for $100 a month. So you really can't beat that. So if you did the free Moto phones that we have also, I mean, you're going to have 5 phones, unlimited talk, text, and data for $100 a month. I don't know anybody else that can beat that.
Nope. So again, it's unlimited freedom plan, $100 for 5 lines plus 5 free Moto E4 phones. Savings good through the end of March. 5 lines and 5 phones for $100.
That's right.
That's a screaming deal.
That is a screaming deal. Now, some of these promotions that we've talked about may be changing. They might end Thursday. We don't know. We're kind of just waiting around right now to see what happens. But
what comes off the mountain, what they're going to say?
Yep, they haven't told us yet, so we're kind of waiting around. So if you want to take advantage of some of this, as of right now, most of these do end Thursday. So they may get extended, they may not. They may have something newer out. It's hard to say, but just be aware that the only one that we can guarantee you that is going to be continuing is the unlimited freedom plan for $100 a month.
One more time, the iPhone 10 for $30 a month, the new activations, and this is free right here. Got mine, the free LG G Pad F2 8-inch tablet for all customers, and there it is. There's mine.
That's it.
There's the show right there on the old phone. I love it. And this thing is, they kept telling me to get one. You kept saying, Tom, you need one of these. I was old school. I still listen to cassettes. I said, I'm not ready for this new technology. This thing is sweet right here. I can look and see that Mary Ellen Malone is watching in West Virginia. Andy's watching in West Virginia. Gary Taylor's watching here in Colonial Heights. Darius Hensley's watching in Bluff City. Jerry McNeil's watching in Elizabethton. Bradley Purdy's watching in Cleveland, Texas. Love it. So that's what it's all about, doing the show, and this is really cool. It's been a great piece for me. So.
Yeah, what I think is cool too is like when most sponsor spots, people come on the show, the guy that's doing the show actually has the product. So it's not just one of those things,
It's not just, hello Larry England, how are you, sir? Cartridge World right there. There's one of the good guys right there. As they say, it's like a Japanese car, he's a Nissan, so. So anyway, yeah. Well, yeah, I believe in the product.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't, whoever's on my show is a sponsor. If I don't believe in it, you ain't on there.
That's right.
I'm just not doing it to make a sale.
Good. That's
if I
why we like Tom.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Phil's
why
Dream Pit. I eat here all the time because
Yeah.
I believe in the product.
That's right. That's why when you come to the Sprint store, we tailor the experience to you.
You're so full of it. That's why I got Champion on, because I bought my car from where? Where do you think I bought my car from? Let me think. Champion Chevrolet. You got it. I believe in the product. That's why I do the show, and sponsors like Sprint. So, what do you want to leave us with, big guy, besides you're getting ready to grub out a little bit? So,
I'm getting ready to grab out. Sprint says thanks Saturday. Come check us out. We'll probably have some more promotions going on then. Some of these may be extended. If you are an upgrade customer and you're needing an upgrade, definitely come in on Saturday and mention Tom's show, and we'll waive your activation fee. So.
You still got 25% off on the accessories when they say they heard my show, too,
Yeah,
right?
we do.
Like the Beats headphones and those things. Yeah. So, new Bluetooth chargers, Beats headphones, wireless chargers, all that. If you mention you heard the show, you get 25% off. What's the typical retail price on a Beats headphone? Ballpark.
About $300.
Let's see, let me do my West Virginia cipher in here. $300 at four. It's $75 off. Yeah. So.
Youngster beat you.
Who?
Youngster beat you.
I don't want to take my boots off and just use my toes and embarrass us. So, well, get yourself something good to eat, my friend. I'll see. What's cool, Phil, it's like when I go in to pay my bill, I go in and see these guys. When's your next Phil's Dream Pit remote? It's like, well, y'all want to come? Yeah, we want to come. So, we've turned them in. You've never been here before, had you? So that's what I like.
Trying to get my wife to come down here.
Well, we've had, 3 today come in here for the first time, and they said, wow, this stuff's awesome. So I can't believe people, it's been here 2 years, haven't been here. Shame on them. But we'll bring them in here and let them enjoy the experience.
Good.
The quest for perfect barbecue. Now, what are you going to, because I can see barbecue sauce all over your beard. What are you going to get today? You going to get in there and wallow a little bit?
Honestly, I hadn't decided yet. I don't know. Might just get a little bit of everything.
There you go. He's a big feller, so there you go. Give you some taters. Love this guy. He's a good guy. Quick break. We'll come right back and talk to the man himself, Phil Pipkin, the owner of Phil's Dream Pit, and how you can come out here and save all week long. And also, throughout the year, you can have an event catered by Phil's. You can come in and buy a meat with a pound of Phil's. I'll tell you all about that right after this here on show number 682. They said there's not a chance. In fact, I'll tell you this real quick before we go to the break. A guy that was with me on the radio, said when I went to the internet, said, it'll never work, I'm not going to do it. He called me yesterday, went and met with him. He said, I owe you an apology. I want to be on your show because the internet's the way to go, internet and Facebook. So 3 years later, he says, you got something good going here. So that's to the good Lord's and the Holy Spirit's credit, not mine. So 6:82, quick break. We'll be right back. Phil joins us here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just two great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are live here for a few more minutes. Got some NASCAR news to talk about. The Can-Am duels coming up. We're going to set the field for the Daytona 500. We'll tell you all about that. And also we got some other NASCAR news. Got some National Hockey League to squeeze into before we get out of here. Hello to Michael Bates watching the show. Michael, just talking about him. He just came out here and enjoyed lunch for the first time at Phil's Dream Pit, and so he loved it. And so did his trusty sidekick, Miss Brittany. So Joe Vento from the John City Press came out for the first time.
First time for Joe.
The big boy over there, Zeb, we brought him out here for the first time about a month ago, and so that's what I like to do is bring folks out here and let them experience it for the first time. Yep. And so we make customers out of people, and that's the name of the game. The value packs, let's talk about that for just a second, and then meat by the pound, but let's talk about the value packs. Great. If you're on the go, can't stay or eat, you want to get it to go, the value pack's the way to go.
It is. I mean, family reunions or if you're office parties or you just want to feed your crew. We offer value packs and offer them in equal numbers, so you can start with feeds 4, feeds 8, feeds 12, feeds 24. If you want 100 people, we can do value packs for 100 people. Comes with the pork, the sauce, the buns, and 3 sides. So you could do, for 100 people, you get beans, potato salad, and coleslaw, and all that, and it ends up, it's less than $7 a person.
What'd you get, big boy? You don't
we
know
got
what you got?
2 meat with pork and brisket.
2 meat with pork and brisket. Oh, yeah. Zeb's over here grubbing out. That's what we want. You like the what? You like potato salad better than anything. See there? Different strokes for different
Different
folks.
strokes for different folks.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to interrupt you. I wanted to see what. But so the value pack.
Yeah, we we're small here. The building's small. We can seat about. I'd say we can seat 80 with the porch and inside the building. We get a lot of folks who just get takeout. They, on their way home from work, they'll get a feeds 4, feeds 6, and take that home to their family.
Would you please read the verse of the day out of the book of Proverbs?
I sure will.
Yeah, because that's what we start the show with, and we'll end the show with it here in a second too. But go ahead.
It says, "Commit your works to me, and your thoughts will be established."
Proverbs 16.
Proverbs 16:3.
Oh yeah. It's awesome. So that's the verse of the day for us here at Phil's Dream Pit. We're talking to Phil Pipkin again. Now, we've been talking all about this all week long. We'll continue to do it all the way through Saturday, but it's a chance for you to, if you're a veteran, get 30% off your bill on Saturday. For the rest of us, not a veterans, you can still get 20% off your bill. We're celebrating the 10th anniversary. Tell me about it.
That's Bring in a Canned Good. We're donating canned goods to Second Harvest Food Bank because that will reach our whole region. It's not just local. So bring a canned good, you get 10% off your meal. On Saturday, just for our 10th anniversary, we were giving 10% off. So there's 20, and if you're a veteran, it's 30% off. With a canned good, our celebration, and
see what I think about what I think is cool about this is the fact that he's an eatery, obviously serves food, and so now for those less fortunate, you and I, that don't have food, Phil says we're going to take food in the form of canned goods and give it through Second Harvest Food Bank to feed the hungry out here in the region, and there's a lot of hungry, and guess what gets me is the kids go to bed hungry at night around here in this region.
True.
Man,
We've got a lot of school kids that if it weren't for churches and other organizations and people helping feed them when school's out, I mean, they wouldn't have a meal. And, so our sales on Saturday too, we're going to donate 30% of our sales to Second Harvest Food Bank.
Incredible. So we'll be here broadcasting live on Saturday. We're going to be got a ball game, then right after they're going to be out here about, I think, like from 1 to 3, whenever he wants me to be here. So I can't wait to get set right here and promote this great establishment on its 10th anniversary, and fell in love with he and his wife. They're just great people, great Christian people, and I appreciate that very much. Meat by the pound. So if folks want to go that direction, tell me about that.
So you can buy pork by the pound, pulled chicken by the pound, brisket by the pound, chicken salad, and racks of ribs if you want to take a rack of ribs home. We offer those too.
Yep. You got 2 kinds of ribs, right?
Got a sweet rib and a Memphis style dry rub. And
Good stuff.
both of them will put one on top of your head and your tongue will beat your brains out to get to it.
You got the big boy chuckling over here. Big Zeb's over wolfing that potatoes out and laughing.
And pork wings. I don't know if you've ever had a pork wing. But it's about 4 ounces of meat on a bone. Comes off the shank end of the ham, and just a good cross between ham and sweet ribs, and those are very good.
Everything you've heard about is on the website. Website is
philsdreampit.com.
It's there.
We have a catering menu on there. If you're planning if you don't want to pick it up, if you want us to come and give you the full service, the serving and cleanup and all that good, barbecue goes great with rehearsal dinners. We've also had where they are all dressed up in their wedding attire, and they've had us cater for the wedding. So both ways.
And so catering jobs are out there already, and folks are planning spring weddings and class reunions and parties. And I know churches are having a vacation Bible school. They usually have a big shindig, and sometimes you do that as well.
We do that too.
Yep.
And if you're planning a wedding, come in here and tell us you're planning a wedding, and we'll give you this. We'll sample you out stuff, so you know what you're getting.
That's why up on that wall over there it says the Reader's Choice Award, Johnson City Press, for the barbecue place of the year, barbecue restaurant of the year. Understandably so, it's a Reader's Choice, Johnson City Press, and the whole wall down through there is full of awards they've won and cook-off contests, chili cook-off contests, and different things. So again, 10th anniversary, neat place, philsdreampit.com. And what do you want to leave us with here?
I just 10 years ago when I started this, I'd never been in the restaurant business before. I was a warehouse logistics guy, and so it was a big step. But it's not been the food that has impacted my life. It's been the people. It's getting close to families and experiencing life with them. They're graduation kids that were small when we started, and 10 years now they're graduating, and unfortunately we've met people who their whole family, and the mother and father's gone now, and it's the life journey of the businesses, and I think that's what's special about any family-owned business. Instead of a chain, is you start getting to know the customers and really taking an interest in their life as well as yours.
It's called building relationships.
It is.
You've had folks who've been coming in here for 10 years. You've seen them bury their loved ones. You've seen people who got married and had kids, and it's called LIFE, and that's part of it, and it's neat. So 10 years running, going strong.
10 years running, going strong.
Yep. PhilsDreamPit.com.
No plans to stop yet.
No, keep on trucking. Love it, love it, love it. So again, 10% off your bill through Friday by simply bringing in some canned goods here for Second Harvest Food Bank. Then on Saturday, our big event to celebrate the birthday of this establishment on the 10th of February, their 10th anniversary. Again, you bring canned goods in, 10% off. By virtue of coming on Saturday, it's another 10% off, and if you're a veteran, yet another 10% off. So if you're a veteran, come in here and eat on Saturday, you get 30% off your bill.
As well as the meal you buy, we're going to donate 10% of our sales to Second Harvest Food Bank. So it's a big win for
everybody. Wins.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins on Saturday. Your normal hours are closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Closed Sundays and Mondays, open 11 to 7 Tuesday through Saturday. And I want to mention my good friend Maida Hedrick, who's starting a new business, and I just thought it appropriate. I asked her if she'd be willing to help me with the dessert. So she does cakes, and we're going to have cupcakes, and she'll actually frost them for you with whatever icing you want, and put. I'm sure she'll have some sprinkles. I don't know what decorations to put on them, but she's going to be here, and I'm going to promote her business, and it's just it's going to be a fun day.
And remember, you have Valentine's Day next Wednesday, so if you're looking for something a little different, cupcakes would do it for your significant other, your Valentine. Maybe a good thing to get Saturday.
Yeah, and then get some information on Maida's new business, and she's just an awesome baker.
And the name of the business is?
It's Maida's Cake Therapy.
Oh, Maida's Cake Therapy.
Yes.
That's cool. That's really cool. So she'll be here Saturday.
She's right here in Sullivan Gardens.
Yeah. Awesome job.
Awesome. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, good man right there. We're going to, let's wrap this thing up. We're going to let him get back over there to the old workplace, and we're going to come right back and finish this thing up. And we're going to talk NASCAR here. Let's see, hit it right there. And let's bring the old camera up and get it back off of Phil and get it back onto me. And boom, hit that, and boom, hit that, and there I be. So we're going to wrap this thing up again. Let me run down again one more time. Don't forget Tennessee basketball tonight. John Calipari said everybody needs to be in Rupp Arena because Tennessee's coming to town. They beat us in Knoxville, and so they said all hands on deck for Rupp Arena tonight for the Tennessee Volunteers coming to town to battle the Kentucky Wildcats at Rupp Arena in Lexington. So it's going to be a great ball game. And let's see, the tip-off. Let's see, I had it right here. What do I do with it? Tip-off. Or do I leave it over here? Oh, there it is. Tip-off tonight at 7 o'clock. Excuse me, on ESPN. So it'll be the Volunteers at 17-5, 15th in the country at number 24, Kentucky at 17-6. 7 o'clock tip-off tonight. Excuse me. On ESPN. Also, again, the Can-Am Duels. Again, we're talking about that. It'll be coming up on next Thursday. That'll be for the field to be set for the Daytona 500. The Clash is this coming Saturday. The Can-Am Duels, a pair of qualifying races determining the bulk of the field and the starting lineup for the Daytona 500. Now, the Clash will set the top two. The rest of the fields, it's a 260-lap, 150-mile race. Drivers in each duel are determined based on qualifying speeds from single-lap qualifying runs coming up on Sunday. And then the single-car qualifying determines the top two starting spots in the Daytona 500. Hello, Darius Hensley, my good friend watching. The duels determine who will line up in the majority of spots in the starting grid for the Great American Race. So, again, while the February 11th single-car qualifying speeds determine the top two starting spots on the front row of the Daytona 500, the duels determine who will line up in the majority of spots on the starting grid for the Great American Race. It'll be coming up next Thursday. It's called the Can-Am Duels, and that'll be going on again at Daytona International Speedway. The Clash is coming up on Saturday again, as we told you, so that's what's going on there. We'll talk more about that tomorrow as we'll move right on down the road to our next stop tomorrow, which will be at Chick-fil-A. Men's top 25 college basketball game tonight. 15th ranked Tennessee at number 24 Kentucky. 5th ranked Xavier at Butler tonight. 6th ranked Cincinnati, the Bearcats hosting Central Florida. 20th ranked Michigan at Northwestern. 4th ranked Michigan State travels to Iowa tonight. It'll be 10th ranked Kansas hosting TCU. And 22nd ranked Wichita State, the Shockers, at Memphis tonight for men's college basketball. And last but not least, it's the National Hockey League from last night. The Nashville Predators go to 32-12. They beat the New York Islanders in New York 5-4. Toronto over Anaheim 7-4. It was Dallas 2, New York, the Rangers 1. And Edmonton knocks off the best record in the National Hockey League, Tampa Bay. It was the Oilers 6 and Tampa Bay 2. Good one tonight. Vegas, the Golden Knights, 35-13, will be at Pittsburgh tonight, take on the defending Stanley Cup champions, a 29-22 team. Other skates on the ice tonight, Washington at Columbus. Washington with 30 wins, Columbus with 27. Also tonight, Minnesota skates at St. Louis against the Blues. Arizona at Winnipeg. Calgary skates in Chicago against the Blackhawks. San Jose will skate in Colorado tonight against the Avalanche. Also on the ice tonight, New Jersey at Ottawa. Vancouver at Florida. Philadelphia skates in Carolina. And the Buffalo Sabres hosting Anaheim tonight in the National Hockey League. That'll do it from here. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. I want to say thanks to our guests today. We had Michael Bates and Brittany Carson in from Trinity Baptist Church, and also in from Upward Basketball, Colin Brooks with the Northeast Tennessee Basketball Book and the Northeast Tennessee Pigskin Book. Thank you to Colin. Joe Avento from the Johnson City Press and Kingsport Times News covering the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State. Again, this week in the top 25 college basketball, the honorable mention poll, the Buccaneers got a vote, which is awesome. And DeSonda Bradford was named the Southern Conference Player of the Month, so thanks to Joe for stopping by for that. Phil Pipkin, the owner, and of course, our buddy Big Zeb Kobus from Sprint. Big Zeb Kobus, thank you for Zeb stopping by as well. So we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Be sure and like and share the show. We'd appreciate that. And until we greet you tomorrow from Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City, Thursday at Champion Chevrolet, and Food City Friday will be at Food City in Piney Flats. Until we join you tomorrow at 11 o'clock, be sure and like and share the show. It's going to be archived. Go back and watch it as much as you want. And we would thank you ahead of time for that. So until we greet you tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City, as always, we'll close it out by saying show number 682 by saying, win or lose, be a good sport. So long, everybody.